Hey, thanks so much for tuning to the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to continue on in the book of Exodus. Today, we're going to be in Exodus chapter 5. I'll be reading the first few verses of it, but I want to encourage you to read the entire chapter. Take some time and dive into his word, soak up his word today. So the first couple of verses. Now, to give you some context, if you have not tuned in all week long, we're talking about the life and leadership and the ministry of Moses. God speaks to Moses through a burning bush and tells him, hey, be my spokesman. Let my people go. I've heard my people cry. They've been in bondage. They've been in captivity from the Egyptians under the ruler Pharaoh. And so he says, now go. And so at this point now they go to Pharaoh, and this is what Moses and then his brother tell him. And this is the interaction that they have in the first couple of verses of chapter 5. Verse 1, after this presentation to the Israel leaders, Moses and Aaron went to speak to Pharaoh. They told him, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Let my people go so they may hold a festival in my honor in the wilderness. Is that so? Retorted Pharaoh. And who is the Lord? Why should I listen to him and let Israel go? I don't know the Lord, and I will not let Israel go. But Aaron and Moses persisted. The God of the Hebrews has met with us, they declared. So let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness so we can offer sacrifices to the Lord our God. If we don't, he will kill us with a plague or with the sword. Verse 4, Pharaoh replied, Moses and Aaron, why are you distracting the people from their tasks? Get back to work. Look, there are many of your people in the land, and you're just stopping them from their work. So this is a battle here, a war between two gods. This is the God of gods, our creator, and Pharaoh here is this interaction. Pharaoh was considering himself a god, and he was thinking, Israel's God, I've got Israel in captivity here, so clearly I'm more powerful than their God. And that's why he was like, who is this God? I don't know him, nor will I let these people go. And one thing that I want us to be challenged by and apply to our situation is that here's the thing. There is going to always be people that are up and want to be against us, and they're going to want to distract us from what God has truly called us to do. There's always going to be a Pharaoh. There's always going to be people in our lives that don't believe what we believe and really are going to try to divert us and maybe even try to get us away from our pursuit of God. But what we need to do, and what we see what Moses and Aaron do, is this verse right here, verse 3. But Aaron and Moses persisted. They were perseverant in their the call that God has called them to do, and that was to let the people go from Israel from out of Egypt and into the promised land, what God had promised. Now, God has promised you to live a life full and abundant. So what areas in your life have you allowed distractions? Have you allowed a Pharaoh to really come into your life and say, hey, who is this God? Why are you choosing to do that? Why are you doing that? I don't believe that. Or maybe it's somebody that you have been praying for, that you have been witnessing to, and they've been acting like a Pharaoh. Let's not give up. Let's have that perseverance like Moses and Aaron had, and they will continue to have. Let's not give up praying for our brothers and our sisters who are far away, who have maybe been blinded spiritually. Let's pray that their eyes would be open and that God would use you and God would use me in situations, that God would reveal himself to them and maybe use us. Let's choose to be persistent, and let's have that perseverant heart and not give up, and staying strong in what God has called us to do, and that is representing him so well. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I want to thank you for tuning in all week. Hopefully, through the life and ministry of Moses, you have been challenged, you've been encouraged. We will continue this on as we continue our series Sunday morning. I want to encourage you and personally invite you to come out. This is our lobby right here at Shrewsbury Assembly. I want to encourage you to come out 10:15 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll be back again tomorrow on Monday for another Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth, and we'll be diving into Exodus chapter 6. We'll see you then.